Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Facebook, Instagram Live. Thank you for joining me. I've been seeing a lot of people traveling, and we're still in the midst of summer. Still people are trying to get and squeeze in as much travel as possible. And I meant to really do this a while ago, but, time just got away from me as it seems to do to many of us. So I'm sure you can understand that. A lot of people have actually asked me, you tell us that, there's all these things that are possible, like natural treatments are possible for all kinds of things, but, I'm traveling and I don't know what to do. Or I'm actually at home and you guys are closed, it's a weekend and I don't know what to do, and my child gets sick, or I get sick or something, and we end up at the ER or urgent care. So is that the only thing that we can do, or is there something naturally that we can do even in those times? So one of the most important things that I talk about is not just being dependent on somebody like me, a practitioner, a physician, but really to take, power over your own health, control over your own health and your family's health in your own hands. That's something that, I talk about quite often. And so that's what I want to talk about today with you. I want to share the things that I do when I travel. So when you travel, you can actually do the same things and it might be helpful. Another time, I'll definitely show you my medicine cabinet and also the things that I actually have with me at all times, in my bag or in my car, also another time. But today, I just want to talk about when you're traveling, so that it's easier and we just keep a few things at a time. Some things that I love having, whether I'm at home or whether I'm traveling, or some ointments. Kids actually get a scrape in the knee, they fall, or maybe they actually sprained something, or even us, adults, we can actually do those kinds of things. I remember one time I was actually hiking, I think in Utah, and I sprained my ankle. And in all of those times, obviously, it's not fun. And immediately we actually don't know what to do. We can usually go get a ice pack or a heating pad and do that, but there are some things that you can actually carry with you that can be extremely helpful. So that the first one is arnica. Okay, so arnica is amazing for any kind of bruises, sprains, strains, back aches, neck pain, any of these kinds of pains. Arnica is something that you want to actually always have. And, of course, all of these things that I'm going to show you today, we have in the office. So you don't have to go anywhere to look for them. You can just call our office and order them for you. So I also have this at home at all times, because, it's quite common. I have two children of my own, and, one of my daughters, I almost, often say that, we should have named you Arnica, because she needs so much of arnica quite often. So I'm sure you actually have one like that, or a child like that. So, just bruise prone, or, it's not for scrapes. It's actually more for bruises. It's more for sprains, strains, muscle aches, those kinds of things is where you use arnica. The next one that I love having around is calendula. So calendula is such a fantastic antiseptic. So it's antibacterial. So in any case of any kind of scrapes, this is the ointment that we use in our family. Now my kids even know how to use it, so they don't even actually have to ask me anymore. They'll just go put calendula on when they get a scrape. So, or you cut yourself and you are chopping a vegetable or something, then calendula is the remedy of choice. You do not need Neosporin. This will actually prevent infection, and the best part about it is that it also actually prevents scarring. I love that about this. Okay, and so that's calendula. The third ointment that I actually love, and most people don't have this one or have never heard of this one. This is amazing. This is Cantharis. And this is amazing for sunburn. It's also amazing for any kind of scars and burns. So, when I was in college, when I was finishing up medicine, I was in residency actually. I got into a motorbike accident. And when I got into a motorbike accident, I was the one who was riding the motorbike. So I got into that accident. I actually fell off the motorbike. I was actually kind of pushed off the road by a truck. And thankfully, the truck did not hit me. Obviously, now I'm here, so nothing happened to me that is horrible. But I did actually get into a pretty good accident where I actually ended up having this big burn. So I actually hit, I don't know what I hit, I think a hot rock or something, because it was in India and it was extremely hot. And so I think, I may actually have fell on the rock. Obviously, I actually had a concussion as well, but I also had this big scar, a burn from, the rock that was extremely hot, I suppose. So I actually had this big black mark as if like I got into a bar fight, and that wasn't fun. And so I obviously did not want that to be, left on my face as a reminder for the rest of my life, my adventurous days. So one of the things that I actually did was I did Cantharis. Cantharis was amazing, amazing, amazing for initially for that burn. And then obviously I followed it up with vitamin E and aloe vera, and you cannot actually see any scar. I mean, if you really, really come very close, you can actually see a very minimal one. But for the size that it was, it's nothing. Like until I tell somebody, or unless I tell somebody, they can't even tell that I ever had an injury there. So that's just how amazing that Cantharis is. I've actually had all kinds of burns, and I'm sure that, if you at any point in time started cooking, or even now, like, I mean, I actually get burns even today, even though I've been cooking for, I don't know, 20 years, still I actually get burned sometimes, especially if I bake something, I absolutely will have a burn. And Cantharis prevents scarring. That's the most important part about it. Many a times when we actually get these kinds of injuries, the most craziest part about it is that we will actually have scarring. And Cantharis, one, cools it down immediately. So if you have a sunburn, you know how it burns? Or if you have a burn or a scald, you know how it actually burns for a period of time. It's almost like first numb for a moment, and then it just burns and burns and burns. And Cantharis, internally as well as externally, is such an amazing tool because it really quenches the burning, and on top of it, it actually prevents scarring. What else can we want more than that? And there's one more area that I actually want to talk about, which actually was, I'm going to turn my camera, and so this area right here on my leg, another motorbike accident. So I know that you probably can't see anything, but there is a very minimal scar right there, and that's actually a silencer burn. If you don't know what a silencer is in a motorbike, in India especially, they're all exposed. So on the right side, there will be the silencer. So one time I actually, fell out of my motorbike. I know. I've actually done all kinds of things when I was actually a teenager, when I was in, college. I've done all kinds of things. I've actually had a fun-filled life. Today here I am actually, telling people to actually take responsibility, be healthy. And I was, but still I had a lot of adventure in my life. I've had a lot of falls. I've had a lot of injuries. So, but that one, mainly the reason why I want to talk about that one is, again, you can't really even see much of a scar. So it was actually a skin, and underneath that, the flesh of it just came off. So it was burnt and it actually broke so free. So it was kind of almost like an incision, and it was also a burn at the same time. So my foot fell on the silencer and my left foot got caught underneath the motorbike. So I couldn't actually get my right foot off free. Even when I moved it, I didn't have any place to put it because my left foot was caught under. So, I really had a horrible second-degree burn, if not third-degree burn. And also because it was an incision as well and it kind of come off, I have never had any stitches on my body, ever. Okay, even though I was so accident prone, I've never ever had stitches. And that one was a huge piece of chunk of, flesh and skin that was burnt and cut. And yet, all I used was Cantharis, calendula, internally and externally. And I also actually used Staph agria, hypericum, and so on and so forth. Never went to the hospital for any of those things, and treated myself and cured myself. Thankfully, at that point in time, I was in final year college, but my father is also homeopathic doctor, so it actually helps tremendously to have these kinds of tools. And one more, last one. So this right here again, you cannot really tell, maybe slightly right there. So there is that line that you can see. So that was when I spliced this finger with a kitchen knife and I spliced it. So it was actually again coming off that flap, and all I did was calendula, put it back, tied it together, no sutures, nothing. It healed perfectly. My finger, there's nothing wrong with any of my fingers, and they work perfectly as well. So I'm not telling you that don't ever go get a suture or anything like that. If you don't know, go ahead and do that. But I'm just telling you that that is possible because I have done it. And another thing that I want to, that I always carry when I travel is this. It's a homeopathic remedy kit. I mean, if you actually, even at home, you can actually have this kit. This is a 50 remedy kit. It actually has 50 homeopathic remedies that are of 30 and 200 potencies, and they are actually of different potencies. They are not all 30 or they are not all 200. And it is actually curated in a way that it will be perfect for most of the acute illnesses that you would encounter, like sinus infections, colds, runny nose, fevers, what else? Ear pain, ear infection, strep throat, urinary tract infection, cuts, bruises, burns. Even actually, we even have in here remedies for cough, eye infection like conjunctivitis, what else? Diarrhea, food poisoning, teething, travel sickness, seasickness, or car sickness, insect bites, what else? Constipation, whooping cough, sprains, strains, bone pains, bone fracture. What else? Head injury, concussions, period pains. So it's all in here. So everything that you could think of acutely, we have a remedy for that in there. And this 50 remedy kit comes with a protocol booklet as well. So which means that you don't really need me or need anybody if you're traveling, and you don't need to run to a pharmacy. You don't need to run in the middle of the night to try and find a remedy. It's all in here, which means that you can actually take these remedies at home. If your child is sick in the middle of the night, or maybe it is a weekend that you cannot reach anyone, you actually always have the savior with you. I mean, I can't tell you how many times this remedy kit has saved me. How many times? I was in India one time and we were traveling, and one of the parties with whom we were traveling actually had food poisoning, and arsenicum album was the remedies in here that actually saved us, saved that person rather, and saved our trip. And and there are so many times that I've actually used these in any kind of my children, when we have been in India, they've actually gotten sick in a place where I don't really have access to remedies. I mean, I probably will have access to a pharmacy. Even that is not really a given, because not everywhere you go there will be a pharmacy available to you immediately. And here this remedy kit, so small, obviously, as you can see, and on top of it, easy to carry with. And whenever you are actually going through the TSA, just you can take it out and ask them to actually do check manually and not really go through the put it through the conveyor belt. And that's it. These are the things that you need for your travel. And if you have these things, you can be rest assured that you will not actually have any trouble. If there is any trouble that does come, you actually have the remedies on hand, and you can protect yourself. You can get yourself healthy, you can get your family healthy, and you can keep on traveling and having fun. Okay, so that's all I have for today. And the next time I'll actually definitely bring to you all the things that you want to have at home. all the things that you want to have in a car, and how to actually have kits made for these kinds of things. Okay, so thank you so much for joining. Let me know if you actually carry a kit and how it has helped you, and what other things that you carry with you when you travel that might be helpful for somebody else to know as well. All right, so I will see you next time. Stay healthy until then, and travel safe. Talk to you next time. Bye bye.